I can, because I don't have you muted. It wasn't you. That was me. That was all me. Ooh, man. This Huckster is colorful. Well, it's got that whole, you know, she's kind of got that rag lady feel going on to her there. And then she's got, you know, these patches on there. So, I literally, I've been sitting here, you know, kind of sketching it out. And then loud enough that I can hear myself. I don't know. Like, I've got to be talking. Yeah, no, that's good. I just heard my voice echoing back. weirdos and malafolks. I'm Doug Bowman. I will be streaming here, painting up another Huckster today. So let's dive right into it. So this Huckster here, which we need to, I'll be taking suggestions from the chat about what we're going to name her, because we last week I painted up Old Randall based on the name suggestion was based on the chat suggestion. So we're going to name this lovely lady based on what you come up with. So I actually have a plan this time around where I went and I even went and sketched her out. You don't try to read my chicken scratch handwriting. To be fair, I barely can, but I've got a plan for color. People having issues with sound. Let me check real fast. People having issues with sound. Sound issues. Let me check real fast. People having issues with sound. Well, Brian. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would mean to turn it on there. Myself on for a second there. Are we good now? To be fair, check to see if it was muted when we were prepping for the stream. I couldn't hear my friends over at Weird there because I'd had myself. I just had my sound muted, and so it was really, really awkward. We were having a heart attack, and then I figured out it was all me because I'm awesome like that. Oh, hey, Cordain, good to see you. I miss you. So I'm gonna start out with. In the cloak here, I'm going to be bringing in the red that I had on the other Huckster to kind of tie the whole group together, really tie the room together. So starting out with the red there. Yep. Waldo, just choose on all them cables. So here we go. Mix in some paint. And all right. So looks good. So here we go. Make sure I'm framed up properly. I'm going to be doing her cloak in this red. And so we're just laying in the base coats here. It's going to be sloppy. We're going to clean it up later. Just laying it in and making it pretty. So how is everyone doing today? Yep, I am framed up properly. Yep, Huckster from the Racetrail keyword. I need to make sure I look at that screen there too. Here we go. Just laying in on a nice little cloak shawl thingy there. With the Reaper MSP base red. It's a base red, deep red. What I'm rocking here this time. Making sure I'm staying on camera there. So yeah, laying it in with a nice thin, very, very thin paint. so that I don't cover up that pre-shading I did. Okay, that's hair. Okay, let's get her hood now. So here we go. And one of my favorite things with the zenithal priming is how quickly we kind of start to see. Obviously, the colors are going to go up a lot higher, brightness wise, but we see pretty quickly what we're aiming for. Why I love zenithal priming. There are some people who, so if you're just going for a quick and done, that's not bad to start out with there. Going a little bit higher, going for a medium to high tabletop quality with these models here. But honestly, a zenithal prime and a couple quick coats like this, and for you, you're full 3 colors there. Peddling all the greatest potions and artifacts from all over Malifaux for almost suicidal prices. You're mad not to buy them. Yes. Do we have a name for her? That's what I want to know. If you can come up with a good name for her, we're going to, at the end of the stream, we will decide what her name is. We already painted up Ol Randall last week. So Ol Randall and her go way back. They're friends. And, they're competitors, but also friends. Okay, I'm liking Agatha. Agatha's a solid name. I also had the thought maybe Sally something, or Potion Patty. I don't know. I'm putting dozens of names out there, but I'm digging Agatha too. What is it? Huzzah! Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream. There we go. So I'm gonna do a little bit more red because I wanted to do this part down here red as well, and then I will move on to another color. We're laying in the base coats right now. Just doing some base coats. All about that base coat. Ooh, also Karen. But she doesn't want to see your manager. Okay, there we go. On the inside of the cloak there, it's very, taking it very easy. Since, you're not going to really be able to see that very much. All right. So, I think I've got all of that red base coat in there done. Which actually looks pretty awesome to begin with. And I want to put in on that big skirty skirt area there. Going to be putting in some purple. Now, most of the stuff you see me paint with has been the Reaper MSPs. I have not found the Reaper purple spectrum as awesome as the Citadel purples are glorious. I really like them. So I'm going to be using those today. So here we go. Show you the palette. Let's get this. Now these generally require a little bit more thinning than the Reapers. It's a little too thin still. And just the nature of them. I think, let's check that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Here we go. Yeah, that's beautiful. exactly as I wanted. And anyone who tuned in earlier, we had Ben on here painting, and I am really. I had to leave partway through the stream. I got to go back and watch the end of his stream. Really liking the mechs he's working on for Hoffman, and we had a nice little conversation going on during that stream about how every model ends up going through the ugly phase and then emerges from its chrysalis of misery. And I just love that term. It is obviously the name of a great band that I would totally listen to. But when you're painting, remember, don't worry. You can always touch it up, and every model, no matter who's painting it, goes through the chrysalis of misery and comes out on the other side. Trust the process, as my friend Caleb would say. Alrighty, so then let's. And this is going to be a very colorful model because she's got that nice. I really like how her cloak's got these patches all over it. She's got all these bottles of potions and tinctures and various other liquids in bottles. They're going to be fun to paint. Oh, that should be a different color right there. So I'm not going to shut that there. Blue. Blue on that. So this is going to be a very colorful model. I am here for it. And at this point, don't worry if you get paint on other things. I'm splotching a little paint onto the bottles there. I'm going to go back and clean them up anyway. Oh, what type of paint? I see a question there. What type of paint am I using? I go between I use some of the Reaper MSPs as well as the Citadels. And actually, is that a separate sash? Yeah, it looks to be a separate sash. So I'm going to paint that a different color. And let's get a little bit underneath her cloak there. So the inside of her cloak underneath there, and I'm actually going to pull her off of my cork there while I can. I'm not worried about messing up the other stuff. Inside there, not going to really see it. So we're not going to put a lot of detail into it because it doesn't need a lot of detail. It's the inside of the cloak. It's hidden in shadow. Alrighty. For you, back on your cork. So let's see how you're looking. Alrighty. I'm going to do you in that color. All right, time to do some skin tones, just so that I don't mess those up too much. Keep track of where those are. All right. Hey, Weird Kyle. How you doing? How's your weekend? Let's see how this is right now. Little thick. Mix it around. The very exciting process of mixing paint. Ooh, Gurion are on the table at the moment. Nice. I still need to pick those guys up. I recently built all of my Euripides crew because I love me some Neverborn. But I haven't gotten them painted yet. So I need to prime them up. And inspiring people to pick up the brush is what this is all about. Ooh, hello, Italy. How are you doing? And yes, this lady who we're trying to name, haven't named her yet, is a lot of fun to. There's a lot of just great texture and detail here, and it's one of the reasons I love Weird Miniatures so much. Is they've just got so much personality and all kinds of just little details to them there. I mean, this is your simple little minion, but there's just so much flavor to it. That honestly, I could. It's one of those minis where I kind of just want to take it and use it in like a D&D game sometime. Because she could totally be a alchemist or something there. It'd be tons of fun to run around or Through the Breach. Yes, she'd be great fun with Through the Breach too. Can you be an alchemist in Through the Breach? I haven't, ventured into. I've only played two games of Through the Breach. One that was going on at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I also when I tried it out at Gen Con years ago. And I ended up being a gunslinger in both cases, I think. Honestly, I don't remember what I played at Gen Con because that was a long time ago and it was just a short little demo. But I ended up playing a gunslinger who is actually an Ortega in the campaign me and some friends had going a couple months. Honestly, it was about a year ago now. Just because I flipped to get an Ortega, and the stats that I flipped up ended up being very, very gunslingery. So didn't look too terribly much into the magic user type people. All right. Now her arms need some flesh. Oh, I totally missed that spot on her with the red. That's okay. That's where we're laying in all these base coats and then coming back and doing more. Doing a couple thin coats gives you a lot more leeway than doing one thick thing. Painting an arm. Painting an arm. You have a bounty hunter named Ellie who has, I think, sold their soul to the Ortegas. Oh, that's fun. I enjoy any game in which you can sell your soul or the souls of others, because that's always fun. All right. I think we're good with that first coat of skin tones for now. I need to go back and do a little bit more on that red cloak where I missed it. And that there. Okay, is that is hair. That is cloak. Okay. So let's take a look at what we got here so far. So those are all good there. All right. Well, let's go with some leather boots. All right. For those, I'm going to use some of the Vallejo chestnut gold. It says gold on it, but it's a brown color, like golden brown, I guess. Which is why I like the number, because chestnut gold, palomino gold, and then buckskin pale is kind of the colors I'm going to be going with for some of these leather bits here. Which paint names are always weird things. So that's one of the reasons I like the Reaper paints, is because they just got numbers on them. And you just keep going up numbers and you get higher and higher in the brighter and brighter. So I'm going to paint her boots and her gloves now. Go. Oh, and those who haven't tuned in to me before, this is a Lamian medium from Citadel. It's a matte medium. I use it to thin my paints. I swear by this stuff. It is amazing. And I put it in a little, it normally comes in a big old bottle like this. I put it in a dropper bottle so I can control how much I put onto my palette, and then not be taking a dirty brush back to a palette of clean paint and just messing up the entire bottle, because that would be sad. All right. And with the Reapers, usually I end up going, curses! Hello, curses! Just laying down that first base coat on the leather. This one's probably going to need to get 2 coats on it there, definitely, before I start going up the spectrum on it. And yeah, those gloves look fingerless, so I'm going to have to go back and paint some flesh on her little fingers. Oh, that's a little bit much. Brush. go. You're coming along nicely. And yeah, I think giving her those buckskin boots will look nice there. If you were Malfa, what pursuit or job would I have? Ooh, I think I would inadvertently become a resurrectionist, but totally by accident. Like I would go into it figuring out either a resurrectionist or like kind of a pyromancer, maybe one of those two. Um, my wife and I have a joke that if I ever got superpowers, I would accidentally become a supervillain. Like with, I'd go into this with like the best of intentions, but then I would become an accidental supervillain. And I tried to deny it, but no, I would probably be a something like that. Burning corpses sounds smell. Well, hey, kind of like Riva there. She got combines that fire and corpses. Or maybe someone is there anyone who's got kind of like a telekinesis thing going on? Because not gonna lie, if I'm stuck in traffic somewhere, I often go, wave at the cars to move them out of the way. In my mind, it makes me feel better. Or like I go and when I step up to a walking door, I go whoosh, like the Force or telekinesis or something. Oh, Alessandra, I am painting one of the Hucksters from the one. What's the name of the box called? It is. There we go. From this box, the one every minute box. Actually, I'll hold it to this camera because you can see it better than this camera over here. There we go. And I keep, even after I've built all of the models, I tend to keep the boxes so that then I can reference the art on them. I'm definitely not Bayou though. I may live in the Bayou City, which, if those of you are not familiar with Texas, Houston gets referred to as the Bayou City sometimes because we've got bayous. But I am definitely not Bayou. All right, so got some buckskin gloves there. Let's go back, and I need to make sure I get her fingertips. With some skin flesh tone on them there. What's that? We got a little bit of a thing. All right. Camera. Just going back and hitting her fingers because these are fingerless gloves. All right, there we go. Grab a little sip of my tea. All right. So yeah, I'm liking how she's looking so far. I think I want to figure out what those colors, those patches are going to be. So I'm going to do a big green patch right there. Yeah, I'll start out with that one. Green patch. Here we go. It's going to be colorful. This is going to be super colorful. She's got this kind of rag lady feel going on. That's going to be need a little bit of, definitely need some thin. That's kind of a thicker one right there. Yeah, looks good. Oh, what am I using for a paint palette? Hey, Matt. Good to see you. I'm looking forward to seeing you at Gen Con, man. I'm using a wet palette, which, yeah, this is my homemade wet palette. It's a butter tub. And then I put down a paper towel as a sponge, and then I use parchment paper, which works great, you know. Works the type of stuff you use for baking cookies. There we go. Oh, that's going to be fun. This is fun colors. So looking at this color here, I think I actually want to go a little bit darker on it. So what do we got? Grass green. Well, that was forest green's the darker one. So I'm actually going to go in. Well, this one, yeah, I need to stab with my needle because it's got a little bit of clog in there. These things happen. And so I got a little cork full of needles here. Pins, not needles. Whatever. Words are hard. There we go. That's a deeper green. Definitely needs a little bit of thinning. There we go. Oh yeah, that's could be some nicer, deeper green there. I'm gonna highlight it back up to the other green I had there. It was too light to start out with. And it's okay to be sloppy on the first couple passes here because we're gonna go clean it up later. Yeah, I love this cheap thing. I don't have a lid that I put over it. I don't tend to do a lot of crazy custom mixes of my colors. So that ends up meaning that I don't mind if it dries out a little bit. So this keeps it going a long time for the day, but ends up not necessarily working over multi-day paint projects. I got one. I am waiting to get my. Actually, I think you were the one who recommended it to me, Matt. The red grass wet palette. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little more green on there. Yeah, so I'm planning on getting that red grass. So I'm just waiting on getting my red grass wet palette. That's because that looks like it seals up over time, and with the amount of painting I'm doing, having the reusable membrane sounds like a good thing. But till then, I'm making do with my homemade wet palette, which is quite delightful. And if you've never used a wet palette before, I strongly recommend it. It changes the way you paint, especially because I'm using very thin paints here. So these will actually run all over the place on your on a standard hard palette, and this just keeps them properly thinned, which I like. So got that there. Well, I've got 2 more patches. What color do I want to make those patches? Yeah, let's go with blue. I think blue sounds good. Yeah, that'll work out nicely. I'm going to be going with the sapphire blue from Reaper. Oh yeah, going to baking. I use anytime I bake cookies, I always put down parchment paper. And this one is also clogged, so let me just clean these up there. Clean up these spots on the palette. Yeah. Ignore this mess. I'm making a mess, but this one is just a little bit clogged. There we go. But yeah, parchment paper. Great for cookies. Great for painting. And I love cookies almost as much as I love painting. Okay, let's be honest. I probably love cookies more than I love painting. I really like food. All right, because I don't need a whole lot of blue here. Yeah, that'll make it nice. It's going to be a crazy looking cloak, and I am here for it. Yeah, that's looking nice. He's a scale 75 wet palette right now. I have not tried it. So getting scale 75 stuff is not always easy around me. I need to find, I've been wanting to try their paints out, but my local shop doesn't carry them. And I like to be able to just get the paints in person. It's one of those things. I know. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm going to make her corset blue. Let's take a look at her artwork real fast. When in doubt, look at the artwork. Well, I want to make the lace on there white because lace should be white. I don't know. I just think it's what I should go with there. And so she's got a sash of a different color. Could make the sash blue and her. Yeah, I think I'm going to make her corset blue. And I'll figure out her sash later. Corset blue. Scale 75's distribution's up in Dallas. I know Reaper is based out of Denton. So Oh, nice. Yeah, I have no. So I don't know any. So the shop I go to most of the time, and you'll probably hear me mention them several times in my area, is I go to Dragon's Lair, Houston. Love them. And currently they carry. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun having that blue in there. They carry the Citadels because, well, let's be honest, that's the paint that everyone carries. They carry the Vallejos, I think, their game color. I mean, recently they started carrying within the last 6 months or so. I was super excited. They started carrying the full range of the Reaper MSPs, and I've been using the Reaper MSP skin tones for a long time, but finally was able to just expand at the color range that I was using of theirs, and I love it because of how chromatic it is, and the fact that so I'm painting this blue here. I'm painting sapphire blue. Well, I know that based on based off the numbers, next color up is true blue, and after that is sky blue, because these numbers go up, and that's how I know what color to go with next. Because sometimes you look and you go, not quite sure which one's the next color if I'm following strictly on that spectrum there. And the names on paints are never useful because, sapphire blue. Well, what's next brighter than sapphire? Who knows? Or on the purples, I've got Nagarath Night. Now, I know from experience that I'm going to be going with Xerius Purple next. But if I didn't know that, I wouldn't be 100% certain on it. So, all right. So I've got those base colors there. Let's figure out a couple more things. Oh, she got some leather straps on her there. So I'm going to go back and do a little bit of leather around those bottles there. We're still just laying in base coats, so we can be sloppy here. Man, this model's fun. So much details here. Just look at all those little vials and bottles. We need a good name for her. I'm digging that. I'm thinking Agatha might be fun. We've got to have some, because we got old Randall, and Agatha needs some descriptor. Alchemical Agatha, maybe? I don't know. That sash there around the middle is teasing me. I got that green right there. What the hell? Let's go with a pop of color. Go with a pop of crazy color here. Pop of crazy color. Can use those for that. Figuring out what color I want to go with it for. Yeah, we can come back to that one anyways. I still need to need to put a little bit of, let's go with time to do a little more work on that purple there. Let's go with some more purple. Now I'm going to go up the next color on this here. Alkaline Agatha. Alkaline Agatha. I'm digging that. Or, yeah, Alkaline Agatha. Best place to get your potions. and potion, etc. Potion accessories. Yes. I'm here for that. Oh, am I? Okay. Went a little bit squiffy there for a second there. Okay. Yeah, purple. Purple's what I was doing. I'm going to work on that purple a little bit because I've got most of the base coats here. So I'm going to start highlighting up a little bit more. Let's go back to my number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I grabbed that's the same paint I already used. Bad paint. Don't trick me again. All right, grabbing the next level purple. Oh yeah. All right, you're getting a little thick. Yeah, these are so the purples are one color that I really like the Citadels more than the Reaper. Alky Aggie's got you covered. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm digging that, Matt. Oh, wet palette. So, P-Glitch, I can show you. So, I made this, my wet palette here. It's the lid of an old margarine tub. And so, it's literally margarine tub plus a paper towel and then baking parchment. And that's what I've been using for a couple of years now. So we're going to go down into the cracks there, kind of feather out. And so that's what I've been using for a couple of years now. And I recently backed a Kickstarter for the Red Grasses Everlasting Wet Palette. I don't know if they're doing light pledges or not, but I'd heard good things about them. Craig from, if I'm not mistaken, Craig from Third Floor Wars has got one of their palettes and was talking it up. So I decided to go with one of those. But until me, I've got, my lovely homemade wet palette, which works great. And the parchment you can use to bake cookies. Obviously not after you've painted on it. Don't bake cookie. That is, in fact, a country crock lid. Play weird, you know your margarines well. Oh man, yeah, you Craig turned you onto the red grat. Yeah, that's what I've heard, and you pointed me towards them as far as when their Kickstarter was going on. So yes, eventually I will be retiring the Country Crock brand wet palette. But until I get my red grass wet palette, I'm going to be using this. All right, so I think I'm going to hit that a little bit. I'm going to hit the greens now a little bit there. Oh, I got a chunky something on there. That's not looking great yet. Mixing that together a little bit. That's a little bit better.